Good afternoon and welcome to High Tide here at Zorah Golf Club. We're joined today by the godfather of golf here in the Middle East, Robbie Greenfield.
That is quite some intro.
You love that title.
Oh, well, it's the first I've heard of it, but I'm a fan, Darren. I'm a fan.
It's the first of many today. Your first time in High Tide?
First time in High Tide. First ever live Golf Digest broadcast from the course with Martin. We were talking about the importance of hitting the ball out of the middle of the club face, weren't we?
Very important.
Very important.
And that
something
would be a first for you.
It would be a first for me. I did have a go. Caught a little beauty out of the bottom of the heel.
You've got a bad toe, so...
Bad toe, exactly. And then we moved on to the short game area, where we talked a little bit about using the bounce with chipping. So again, Darren, something you could probably benefit from as well.
Yeah, thanks, mate. And I'll be using the steel shafts as per Martin's instruction, as opposed to the graphite shafts. I too, like Martin, are looking at all the Golf Digests from October through to...
Yeah.
My only concern, I mean, obviously that's the best one I think you brought out over the last 6 months.
It's, I think, the only Australian we've ever had on the cover, actually.
There's no Martin Dewhurst on the front cover. You've got Jason Day, Gary Player, Darren Clark.
It's in the pipeline.
Is it next month?
We've done the live broadcast now. Martin's got to earn his stripes. Still fairly new to the region, and
I reckon he's earned his stripes enough to be on the front cover. For May.
That's a personal opinion.
Can you commit
That's your
to
own
that?
opinion.
Can you commit to it?
I'm not going to commit to anything.
Enjoy your coffee. Look, it's the Masters this week. We're all excited about it. We had Callum Nicol in yesterday. He's flying over on Friday.
Okay,
And
lucky
so he'll
him.
be there Saturday, Sunday, so we're hating him right now, but very envious. I saw Bubba Watson's your tip. Read your article last night, and Bubba Watson is your #1 pick for the Masters this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we need to say really is that when you look at the world rankings, the top 6 players in the world, obviously Jason Day, your countryman, has ascended to the #1 spot. He's won 2 huge tournaments, the Dell Match Play and the Arnold Palmer Invitational. He's going for 3 in a row, and I think we all know, having followed golf for a long time.
Tiger Woods was the last person to do that.
Tiger Woods was the last person to do
The
that.
person before him was Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah,
So
it's a tall order. He is a little, but
Back to Jason.
But I can forgive him. I'm less forgiving for you, DK.
Let's talk more about Jason.
Let's talk more about Jason Day. He's obviously got the whole package. I know Martin's probably not his biggest fan, but he's shown that he can hit the ball brilliantly from tee to green. He showed that at the PGA Championship, the 20 under par mark he got to. Jordan Spieth, his playing partner in the final round, described that as a stripe show. Very American terminology there.
He takes his time though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he takes his time. Yeah,
If
he's
you're
a slow
#1
player.
golfer in the world, you're entitled to take your time.
I disagree.
Why is that?
Because it's not so entertaining to watch when they're very slow.
Jason Day's not entertaining to watch.
4.5 hours, wasn't it, for a 2-ball in the final round?
Yeah, I think he's a deliberate. You can say he's a deliberate player.
Diplomatical.
He's got a pre-shot routine and he sticks to it. And so far, it's working for him. If he is the #1 golfer in the world, don't dispute what he's doing.
The European Tour brought in a new policy on slow play that we saw at the start of the year. Jordan Spieth even got penalised or warned against a slow play fine, I think, in the Abu Dhabi event, which was a very bizarre situation. But, people like Jason are slow. They're deliberate players. You've got guys like Rory that like to just walk up and hit the ball.
Real golfer.
What's Rory ranked at the moment? He's 2nd or 3rd, isn't he, behind Jason?
How many majors?
And he lost to Jason in the match play recently.
He did.
Jason's got the edge.
He did.
At the moment.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, if you look at Jason, last 13 starts on the PGA Tour, 6 times a winner. Rory hasn't won on the PGA Tour since Quail Hollow last May. So
I wouldn't say he's a real player at the moment, Rory.
Let's see.
See.
Next week we'll be able to have a good chat about this.
We were going to talk about Bubba though, weren't we?
Yeah, Bubba's
we got a bit
your pick.
sidetracked.
Yeah, Bubba's your pick.
Bubba's my pick for the simple reason that Bubba and Augusta just go together just like that. He's a big hitting left-hander. He can hit a little baby fade around those dog legs that right-handers have to hit a more... I know you're a proponent of the draw, Martin, but it's riskier when you're turning it over from right to left as opposed to just holding it off with a cut. It's slightly riskier when we factor in that Bubba's, incredible length off the tee.
I think generally, if you look at all the people who won the Masters, they're all drawers of the ball generally.
Aside from Phil Mickelson and Bubba Watson.
Yeah, who fade it.
Yeah.
Okay, but with more right-handers and left-handers have won them.
True. No, I mean, yeah, obviously. I think that what we need to say is that it's a specialist course. Yeah. It's a course where your Jordan Spieths, your Bubba Watsons, your Phil Mickelsons will always do well around there because they're comfortable playing the golf course. They know the spots to miss it in. They know the spots to aim for. They've got good short games. Bubba is an enigma, but he does have a very delicate touch around the greens, and he does putt well when he's on form. The reason he's my tip is his propensity for Augusta National, and the fact that he doesn't like defending titles like he did in 2013 and 2015. He feels the pressure, he feels that awkwardness and that extra kind of added, burden that he's carrying into those tournaments. And if you look at his form in the build-up, although we could make a case for many, many players in the build-up, because Adam Scott has been playing great, a former Masters champion. Ricky Fowler, a winner in Abu Dhabi, he just feels like, he's a major winner in waiting. Rory, maybe he hasn't got a win, but he's bubbling up nicely. Dustin, a couple of high finishes, questionable temperament maybe for the majors. But yeah, my gut feeling says Bubba.
Okay. What about somebody from your part of the world, Great Britain, Justin Rose? What are your thoughts on Justin? Even though I think he's South African.
We'll leave the nationality debate to one side. Justin, for me, hasn't shown enough form going into the Masters. I think you need to be on an upward trend, and I think that Justin's had a very quiet start to the year. I think that he's played it well, there's no doubt about that. He came tied for second last year with Phil, 4 shots behind Jordan Spieth. I think back in 2007, 2008, he had a really good chance to win the Masters as a much younger player, but blocked his tee shot right of the 17th and blew his chance. I think that was 2007, if I'm not mistaken, the year Zach Johnson won.
Okay, I've got a question for you. So every year when we watch the Masters, we see names up there of the older winners, the past winners. If you were going to put your top 5 outside bets, who do you think is going to come in the top 5? Surprise pick. Someone where there's some real value in it.
Oh, wow.
I'm going Sandy Lyle to make the cut is my bet.
Bernard Langer is always there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Just knows his way around the golf course, a former Masters champion.
Couples is not playing, unfortunately.
Couples is not playing, although if he was, I would say, without fail, Freddie on a Thursday evening. I look at the leaderboard and Freddie's like 4 under par, and it's like Freddie rolling back the years, and he's like that. He can do it. He just, again, it's veterans that know the place like the back of their hand, and that's worth a couple of shots around. I'm going to say Andy Sullivan's going to have a good Masters because I think that we've seen him in the Middle East. We've seen him do so well over in Dubai. He is fearless. He's not going to be overawed by the occasion or the golf club. I think a lot of these rookies that go and play the Masters for the first time are thinking, wow, I'm playing Augusta. There's the Amen Corner, the Butler Cabin, the clubhouse, all these famous historical kind of landmarks that are drenched in history. And I think they just get overawed by the occasion. I don't think that's going to happen to Andy Sullivan. And I think I back him. He manages his game extremely well. He gets the most out of his golf game. And I think he's going to have a good debut. I'm going to say he's going to finish top 20, top 15 on his debut in the Masters. That's my shout. 5 players who are outside picks to...
I didn't mean 5 players, I mean 1 outside pick to come in the top 5.
Okay.
I've never seen him lost for words.
I'm going to say look out for Justin Thomas. The young American. Again, another fearless player, another big hitter. He's going to have all the tools to do well at Augusta. He's also a rookie. And you know what? Bryson DeChambeau, who was on our cover a couple of months ago, he's an amateur. He really did covered himself in glory in his trip to the Middle East, won the Abu Dhabi Invitational at Yas Links. He did very well in the Desert Classic. I think he was tied for 18th at the Desert Classic, did well. First round leader over in Abu Dhabi. He is a guy who is obsessed with winning the Masters as an amateur, and he's been absolutely fixated on this since he got the invite by winning the NCAA Championship and the US Amateur Championship last year. And I think he is going to be so well meticulously prepared. I think he's going to do very well at Augusta. I think he's going to make the cut.
Martin, does that answer your question? Yeah. Thorough as always. We're just going to finish off your favourite Masters memory. If you've got one that stands out straight away instinctively, what do you think of?
It's 20 years ago. It's Nick and Greg on the final round in 1996. For me, I was 15 years old. I was really getting into golf in a big way. Obviously, I'm English, and I was supporting Faldo because he's English, and obviously everyone was pulling for Greg Norman because he's such a charismatic guy. And I think wanting Faldo to get back into it has been one of the only few people, I think even Brits were pulling for Greg Norman. Everyone wanted to see him win a green jacket, and you could kind of see it. It was like a car crash in slow motion. You could see it happening, you could see the expression, you could see things getting away from him. Like we've all been there, we've lost our golf swing at the worst possible time, and it happens to the very best players in the world. And I just think that was such a sort of a crystallized way that we look at golf, and he he had this collapse in the tournament he most wanted to win. It's stamped on my mind to this day. And obviously the year after, Tiger winning by 12, and I was, as I'm sure you guys all were, when Tiger burst onto the scene, that was that just captured the imagination of everyone who was involved in golf and people who weren't interested in golf, and brought them into the game. And to see him win by 12, it wasn't a tournament, was it? It was just it was his own tournament that year.
I mean, everyone's got their own opinions on Tiger, but for me, he changed the landscape of the game.
Oh, completely.
Being a young guy around that time when he's won it emphatically by that amount of shots, he was just. He's still my hero to this day.
Completely.
So
yeah.
Let's hope he gets back to the form that we all know.
Sad to see he's not there this year. Obviously, we were hoping that he gets back to form and comes back this year at least, and starts to play on the tour towards the end of the year. Maybe he makes a major or two towards the summer, but it's not looking great for him.
And finally, your own game. Where's your own game at? Are you hinging and holding? Are you locking and loading?
I'm stacking and tilting. I'm dipping and rotating. I am. I'm ready legs, shoulder turn, arm swing connected to my. Flattening of the wrist at the top. What else am I doing?
All in one.
Extending through the ball. Yeah. No, my game at the moment is extremely frustrating. That's why I keep seeking the advice of guys like this, especially for the short game. But Darren, you'd still be giving me shots, is the answer.
All right, there you have it. Very thorough analysis of the Masters. Great to have Robbie along. You're welcome anytime here.
Thank you very much.
Out on the course as well as high tide, and look forward to seeing who wins the Masters.
Absolutely, be hooked on it.
Let's hope it's Jason Day.
Let's hope.